About 8 years ago, I felt like there was no point to keep going. I had given up, and I wrote to one of my friends telling her that I was so tired. It was so bad. I was literally in bed the whole day. I didn't even have the energy to stand up and cook. I had pursued goals that I failed at. I had tried to do everything and nothing worked. I had no friends, I had no respect, I was full of shame, I was full of regret, I had no love, I had nothing. I had no pride, I was so down, I was at the lowest point in my life. In that moment, I started to think about the what if I keep going one more step, things will work out. And I accepted that I had failed. It was hard, but one thing that made me snap out of those bad times of feeling sad is when I finally accepted that I had failed at the things I was trying to achieve. I had failed to get the master's degree that I wanted to get. I had failed to settle down and have a good job. I had failed to start a business and be financially stable. I had failed at keeping good friendships. I had failed to even get a minimum wage job. I had failed even to have my own place to live. I was homeless. And then I accepted that I had failed. The moment I accepted that I had failed, I started to have inner courage to start again, because this time I was starting from zero. I gave up on getting the master's degree. I gave up on having a beautiful relationship. I gave up on pleasing people. I gave up on having those nice friendships and being respected by people. I accepted the shame that I was going through. I just accepted my life the way it was. And I told myself, shame on me for not achieving those things, but that's all right. And I started walking my journey again. I would literally meet people that used to laugh at me because they knew me as a different person before. But this time, I was starting again, and I didn't care. Even if they laughed, I just kept going. I would literally feel my life transform the moment I decided that, you know what, instead of being that person, that the old me, I can actually transform and become someone better. I can actually start now and start living a totally different life. That life that was full of hopes and everything, I gave up on it and started a whole new journey. And there is something that we don't hear enough about. There is so much power and victory in giving up on things that you feel like are weighing you down. For me, the reason why I felt like a failure is because I held on. I know it is good to be consistent. I know it is good to keep going when the going gets tough. I know it is good to keep trying and trying again. I'm someone that encourages people not to give up. But one thing that saved my life is when I accepted defeat and I gave up on the things that I was pursuing. I don't know if those things I was pursuing were the wrong things. I can't say that they were wrong, but I just failed at them, and I accepted that I had failed. And once I gave up on those ideas, on those goals, and started to pursue new goals, my life is totally different. I don't have a master's degree, but I'm fine. I have a bachelor's degree. It is enough. It is good. I gave up on love. I wanted to be married in my 20s, and I gave up on that idea, and I'm fine. I wanted to have kids in my 20s, and it didn't happen, and I gave up on it. Trust me, for me, the thing that saved my life when I felt like a total loser was to give up. I want you to take a moment and think about why you feel like a failure. Are you feeling like a failure because you have tried to achieve those things that have not worked out for you? And because you feel like if you don't achieve those things, shame on you? Could that be the reason why? Why do you feel like a failure? Because you wouldn't feel like a failure if you haven't failed at something. What goals are you pursuing that are too heavy for you? I know you've probably watched, or you may watch my other video telling you not to give up, but in this video, I'm gonna tell you right now, if whatever you're pursuing is becoming a burden and it is weighing you down and it is too heavy, give it up. And if you believe in God, I want you to lay it down before God and tell him, you know what, God, I give up. Tell me how you feel after you let go of those expectations, of those things that are weighing you down, making you feel like a failure. That's my message in this simple video. And I'm going to link a playlist with other inspiring and motivating videos. I hope to see you in the next video. Be blessed.